How to be more interesting. So the first thing that I would say about this is in order to have to answer that question, you're operating from something inside of yourself that says that you're not. So you're coming from a place inside of you that says, I'm not interesting. I don't have enough to say. I'm too boring for people. Why would people want to hear what I've got to say? There's an insecurity or a self-consciousness that's embedded underneath that question. And so the first thing that I want to share about this is that language is creative. So whatever it is that you're saying to yourself, you are creating that experience for yourself. So if you have something in your mind that says, I'm not interesting, or I'm not interesting enough, I don't have enough to say, you are creating that reality every time you speak it in your mind or out loud. So every time you say to yourself, I'm not interesting enough, you are creating a reality for yourself, and that ripples out into how you communicate with other people that you're not interesting enough. And the more that you can start to see that language is creative rather than descriptive, that it doesn't just describe the world around us. It's not just, oh, you know, it's just a fact. That's kind of how I used to see language, is that I would use language to describe the world around me. This is how it is. This is how it looks to me. Therefore, this is how it is. And I started to shift that. Like, what if I was creating with my language? What if what we use language for unconsciously is we are creating as we go? And so if I'm creating, I'm really stupid, as an example. If I'm saying that, I'm creating it. And everywhere I go, I'm operating from I'm really stupid. Similarly, if you're operating from I'm not interesting enough, where you're coming from is I'm not interesting enough, then you are creating something in your mind and externally in the world. The universe around you is shifting to give you that. If you created, I don't know, if you started to speak out into the world, into your life, into your mind, something along the lines of, I am finding lifelong friends, right? I am experiencing new things. I am engaged with people when I talk to them. I connect with people, whatever, make it up. But it's not an affirmation. It's a place that you can come from. It's a place of being. It's coming from, I am being someone who is engaged with people when they talk. That shifts something. And so with your language, you are creating. And so you get to decide what you want to create with that language. The other thing that I found to be so powerful and useful when it comes to being interesting, when it comes to being liked or engaged or connecting with other individuals in a social situation or a conversation, is to be interested. There is no easier way to be interesting than to be interested. People love when you ask about them. People love when you get curious about them. People love talking about themselves. People love thinking about themselves, right? If you imagine that you're in a group of people and someone takes a photo of you all and you look at that photo, what's the first thing that you're going to look at? Yourself. And everyone else is doing that too. So you could look at that photo and be like, you see yourself and you're smiling and you're looking great and you're like, oh, that's a great photo. You haven't even looked at everyone else. The person next to you is like, that's a terrible photo. You look at them and they're eyes closed, making a funny face midway through saying something and it looks strange. Everyone's interested in themselves. And so if you show an interest in another person, you get them talking about something that they care about, suddenly you become interesting to them. Now that's just a little, I suppose, trick. That's something that's helpful, been helpful for me in those situations where I felt like, oh, I just don't have anything to say here. I don't have anything to contribute here. I've certainly felt that. There have been times where I've walked into a room or walked into a social situation, walked into a conversation with colleagues around the coffee machine and just been, oh, I don't have anything to say here. Or anything that I say is going to come out wrong. Anything that I say is going to feel bad. It's going to be boring. It's going to not be interested. Be interested. Get curious. Listen. listen to what they're saying and respond. It's the cheat sheet for social situations for me, is to allow yourself to get curious, ask questions, knowing that people love talking about themselves. And you are create it's the easiest way to create rapport with someone, is to get interested in something that they're talking about and to allow them to share their interest with you. I hope that's helpful. Good luck. Bye.